Welcome everyone to Kiki and Chill. I'm your host Savannah, and today we have with us
DK.
Pembe.
Konya.
Hey.
All right, guys. So let's get into this. Obviously we are all part of the LGBTQ plus community, all from racially minoritized backgrounds, and we've all got, I think, very inspirational, different stories that we can all tell. Anyone want to kick it off with anything that they want to share? Any particular stories, coming out stories?
Anyone want to go first?
I might as well.
Go on then.
Cool. So, as you guys may know, me and Saz went to the same school, secondary.
I didn't know that, you
Um,
know.
I did not know
No,
that.
that's good to know.
Oh,
though.
damn.
Okay.
Okay, we can't get that bit in then.
Yeah. No, get that in, yeah.
Cool. So, as you may know, me and Savs went to the same secondary school. And, you know, growing up, it was like all the girls are playing football, all the girls are doing basketball. Like, me personally, I never used to do the netball and the gymnastics. I was all right. But, like, the girly
It was so
sports.
pressured though. I feel like in our school, it was very much, if you're a girl, you have to play netball.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you're a boy,
That's
you
the
have to
girly
play
sports
Yeah.
and that's the
Honestly,
boys'
that's
And
the
it was
boys'
just
sports.
like,
sport,
it
yeah.
got to a stage when you started getting older, I was a bit like,
Right.
but why do I feel like
That's
I
what
have
I'm
to play
saying.
netball? I want to play football, I want to kick ball, I want to play basketball. Why do I?
Facts.
You know, and it was in our school. I don't know about other schools. It was definitely very much like, now you gotta wear the little.
I just like barging
skirt.
people, I can't
Skirts
lie.
and the-
No, I'm not going to lie. In my school, it wasn't like that. But I used to play netball as well. And a lot of other schools would have to wear the netball skirts.
Oh, no.
And I was like,
Like
I'll
with
leave
us,
the whole
we didn't
school
even have
for
like
the skirt.
a girls'
Word.
football team until like
Yeah, we had
end
to
of.
push for it to
You
get
get.
started.
But like as I said, yeah, I never grew up doing all the normal things girls do, and that was a bunch of us. Like it was me, you, a couple other girls, and we were just all chilling. Like bear in mind, there's a 2-year gap between me and Savs, but like it was like we just pals, like buddies from day dot. You get. So I would say I looked up to you. You know, I looked up to a couple other people as well. But in myself, it took for me until the end of secondary to say, yeah, girls are kind of dope still. You know? But I never brushed away the fact that guys are cool, but, you know.
Just weren't your cup of tea
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So from there, like, after I told my friends now, they'd be like, okay, we knew this. And I'll just be like, so you wanted to betray me and not tell me?
Bro, even the other day I was telling you, was like, when did you know? I said, bro, if you know, you know. I didn't come back when we was in secondary
I was
school
hearing
days,
there's
but-
this gay radar that people have, and apparently
The gaydar, man.
Yeah,
The gaydar got to be strong.
I was like, where? So this is what the thing was about, and now I have it. But yeah, so that was it pretty much. I went through my whole secondary just doing the things I love. Even primary, like I was just my friends. It's just boys. Growing up, it's just men, and yeah, that's just me. Like the way I dress, the way I act, the talking, everything I do is literally just because of the way I've been raised. But I'm not phased. This is who I am. And yeah, coming out was alright.
So would you say you was like, what, 15, 16 or?
16 actually, and
Damn, that's my age now.
I never came out when I was 16. I came out recently actually.
Okay.
So yeah, it was yeah. I'ma just put this out, disclaimer: the strictest parents create the sneakiest kids. That's what
Literally.
yeah.
For real.
I knew how to get out of things. I knew the right things to say when I might have been pushed in a corner, and that's what kept me going for 2 years. That's what kept me going for 2 years, and I finally said, yeah, let me just say it, because there's some people that die, that go to their grave.
Yeah, they
and not
take
say
you
it.
to the grave.
You get it?
Yeah.
So I'm glad I did, and I'm all free. But yeah.
And that's your little story,
That's my
man.
little
Big
story
up
there.
You, big up you, man. You gotta be confident in who
Yeah,
you are
man.
in life. You know what I mean? And you're right. There is this typical. This is for boys. This is for girls. But I just feel like you can't put people into boxes like that.
Exactly.
You know. I mean, I can talk about mine. I actually grew up very homophobic. I was really homophobic growing up. I was like, no, that's wrong. Because I think cultural background has a big impact on
Yeah.
who you are and
it's
how you
true.
feel about things. Like, I'm probably the only person in my family that I know of that's come out. You know, I don't know of anyone in my family. And for me, it was a bit like, I was your typical tomboy played football for like Leighton Orient and all of them lot. You know, athletics. Always wanted to chill with the boys. You know, didn't really have female friends unless they weren't friends. You know, and after a while I got clocked on that as well. And I think for me it was like I'd been excluded from secondary a good 3 times for homophobic behaviour. And I just really just couldn't accept that people were saying I was who I was. Like, when I was growing up, it was almost like a bad thing to hear that you're a lesbian. Like, they'd be like, oh my God, there's that lesbian. It's like, oh, actually, I'm just a person. Like, why should I be labelled? Oh, it's not, you can't walk down the road making people feel a type of way. Do you know what I mean? But I think that had a contribution to me not wanting to come out as well for a bit. And then I got to a point where I was with a girl for a couple of years, and I needed her to come and see me. So I had to tell my parents. And they were just, oh, it's a phase, man, don't worry about it. You know, they didn't really take it too seriously. I mean, it's been like 10 plus years since I've said that, and the phase ain't stopped. So, yeah.
I say, like, everything in life is a phase. Like, us being on this show right now, when we leave this room, this alone was a phase. So when they, like, make sure that they put the word phase and, you know, sexuality in the same sentence, it's like, damn, life itself is a phase. So where do you draw the line? But that's another story.
Oh, we can get onto that. We can get onto that. It'd be interesting to talk about that.
To be homophobic, sexism, that's all taught though.
Exactly.
No one's born homophobic. No one's born racist.
Thank
You're
you.
taught
Same
that.
when no one's
Thank
born
you.
straight.
No,
Let's
for
not
real.
talk about that.
No, I hear that. I definitely think that it's an upbringing thing. You know what I mean? Like I said, I come from a background where in my country, no one's hardly gay. Do you know what I mean? And if they are, it's a very newy thing for people to start coming out. It's not really as accepted in the community. So when you're growing up and you're also hearing certain tunes, you know, we know there's a lot of tunes that talk about this and that in it. And you're like, actually, that's a bit bad, mind, you know. That's actually not that nice. Still, as you grow up, you realise that someone else's life really shouldn't bother you. You know what I mean? Just live your own life.
It's not making you money.
Why is it bothering you? Yeah, like, why is it bothering you?
Facts.
But that was kind of my journey, I guess, in a way. Yeah. What about you?
I think for me, like, I have a few key moments in my life. The first one that always makes me laugh, I was literally probably like 4 or 5, right? And my mum used to dress me in all these cute little dresses for primary. And then one day, my brothers was kicking ball, and I was like, I want to do that. I started playing football. They decided to throw, no cap, my baby Annabelle out the window and let a car run over it. Since that day, I've become a tomboy. So
Baby Annabelle, you
the
know.
reason I say I'm gay is because of my brothers. They bullied me into it. It was literally football, boys' clothes, that was it. After the toys got thrown out, the dresses was gone, and then that was it, really. But yeah, I think for me, like, going through secondary school, I definitely tried to hide it a lot throughout year 10 and 11. I feel like I knew a lot more before, prior to me actually coming out as such. I think for me, I definitely did try and hide it for a couple of years. Like, I definitely knew myself the way I felt, but I didn't think it was right because of, like, the atmosphere I was in. I used to think, nah, it can't be me. Like, I used to think it was a problem. Like, I was different to everyone else, but I never understood why. Like, why I couldn't help the way I felt, but I didn't understand why it was me. And then I think for me, like, my turning point was the transition from finishing secondary school and going into sixth form, because we had a football academy come in, and I definitely think that football has had an impact in terms of, like, a lot of girls that do play football, whether you agree or disagree, are mostly gay. Like, in the industry, a lot of girls that play football are gay. And when girls from different schools was coming in and some was quite open about it, it kind of gave me the lead to go, oh, okay, well, maybe. Because at first, I tried to fit in. I tried to get a boyfriend. I tried to be like everyone else.
Of course, yeah.
And it just wasn't me. So then I was like, you know what? I can't pretend anymore. I met a girl, and I think the turning point was definitely my mum sat me down one day, locked me in my bedroom, and she literally said to me, look, I know whether you want to tell your brothers, your dad, that's different, but I just want you to know that you have at least one person that doesn't mind. Like, you are who you are. So yeah, I think definitely my mom had a huge impact, like, for me, and made it just easier, like, a lot like didn't make me feel like I was different or that I was gonna be the child that she had that was like a sin or you know.
That must make a big difference having that parental support, like having that family support.
Definitely, because like
it's not as common in a lot of people.
No,
having
it's
that
not.
support.
It's not, and I am definitely grateful. And even my dad, to be fair, was obviously from more of a cultural perspective, being from St. Lucia, Grenada. I was a bit like didn't know how he would take it, but again, I can't fault my parents in any way. Like they have been nothing but supportive of me and have literally said like, at the end of the day, you are who you are. You love who you are. We don't want to like have an impact on your life and make you feel a certain way. Like we're just gonna have to support you, and that's literally it. So yeah, for me, my parents, my football definitely as well have all like helped me in a way come out as such. Yeah, and definitely played a part. So yeah, I'm grateful for all of those things really. What about you, Konya?
Me, I never had a story close to any of you. Like, I can't lie. I've just always been gay. Like, let's just get out there from now.
More like, so when did you kind of, is there a point where you told people?
I told my mom in primary school.
Okay. Oh, you told her in primary school?
Primary school.
Okay.
Wow.
Like, because there was just one girl that I used to always bring to my house. And we used to always be in my bedroom. And I think she just realised that I didn't really like boys like that. And then she sat me down and she was like, I'm going to tell you this one time. If you like females, embrace it. I was like,
hey, big up mummy,
like,
you know. Big up mummy.
I was like, okay. But at first, I kind of didn't know how I felt. Because I know that I didn't like boys. Definitely not. But I just thought that, not like it was wrong, but just it wasn't for me at the first point in my life. But then when I was in year 7 and year 8 and I got kicked out of school, I just realised that I can't keep trying to put on this facade that I don't like girls, because I know that I do. Like, literally, I used to wear dresses. If you see how I dress now and how I used to dress in primary school, you'll think I was two different people. Dresses, braids, all them things there.
Yeah,
Heels.
Konya. Hot girls coming for Konya.
Listen, I was out here. I was a bad bee. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay,
I dressed
girl.
tantalizing.
Tantalizing.
But obviously, I never really liked dresses. All now, my mum be like, "Oh, what do you want to wear some leggings?" No, I don't like leggings. Don't like dresses. But I just feel like I have had a couple people in my family that obviously don't agree with it, but I don't really care, because at least I have my mum and my sisters. I just need the people that I actually talk to in my life.
Yeah.
And when you say don't agree with it, like, have they made comments or what is it?
Basically, let's
wanna
say
go into
I've been a bit disowned from certain parts of my family, which I don't care, because I don't talk to them. I don't go to family parties, because if you're not going to support me, you're not helping me make money, so your opinion is just not really... I'm just trying to buy my mum a house. Like, I don't really care about nothing else.
Bless you, Konya.
Literally. I can't be bothered.
Yeah. No, I hear that. But I mean, I think that's for a lot of us, you know. I mean, some people get support and some people don't get support, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say that I wasn't supported, but I wouldn't say that I was supported as well, because it was like, oh, it's just a phase.
Yeah, but
and
what
then
does
every
that
time
mean,
I'd
though?
bring my partner, I'd be like, oh, there's her friend. And it got to a point where you had to, like, pull your... I had to pull my parents up and be like, you need to stop referring to my girlfriend.
Oh, I can't lie. I had to say that to my mum yesterday.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, she's not my friend. Stop. That's so rude. How would you feel if I was calling your man your friend?
Your friend, literally.
You wouldn't be cool with it, you know?
It's the same difference, you know.
Have any of you had like maybe not like family situations, but situations in public where you felt like because of who you are, like any sort of situations on that? Anyone?
Every now and then, because obviously the short hair, I'll be walking with my girl now, and it's like you just get stared down. Like they'll be in their car still staring, and you're just looking at them like, hello, do you need help with directions? You know, but I don't get fazed by it, because I only see you once in a lifetime. I'm not gonna see you ever again, you know.
Oh, true.
I like the way you want to take a picture. Like, what, do you want to keep the memory forever?
Oh, the picture.
You get it.
Trust me.
That was one of my worst situations.
When you
I was
told
on
me
the
that
train, and I was only like 17, so only been out for a year. Was with my girlfriend, and she was literally sitting on my knee because the train was packed. If a straight person done it and a girl was sitting on the guy's lap, no problem.
That's what I'm saying.
Two guys thought that it was a joke or thought that like it was appropriate for them to start taking pictures and recording us. And it just all kicked off on the train because the girl I was with at the time, like, obviously felt a type of way, and so did I. So we're going to stand up because
and
at
say,
the end
like,
of the
what's
day, if
going
we
on?
all say nothing, people are going to keep going about their lives and think that it's cool and that can happen. And it just created this whole situation on the train, and it was like a divide. You could see the people on the train that was like, no, you shouldn't do that, it's not right. But then there were still people on the train that was like looking at us as if like, why are you creating a situation out of it? They can do what they want. When in reality, I have a right. You can't
make me feel a type of way.
Just because I'm gay, just because I've got a girlfriend. Like, what's the difference between me and someone that's straight doing it? Like, and I feel like definitely like being out in public. If you're straight, you can feel a lot more comfortable than if you're gay. Like, there's certain things in public, like, even now, being 20, holding my girl's hand, I can look at someone and think, if I'm holding their hand, they're going to look at me and think, rah, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, I hear that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's a societal issue. I think we live in remember this word, yeah? I think we live in a very heteronormative world and a society, yeah, where everything is done in the straight way. And that don't work for people like us who ain't straight. Yeah? And I think that no matter where you go, you're always going to get people who look at you in a certain way, who say certain comments. But the reality is, if you're comfortable in your own skin, why does it bother anybody what someone else is doing in someone's life? You know, it shouldn't bother anybody. And no one going and taking pictures or videos of you or whatever, that thing can't run. You can't be doing things like that in people's space. You know what I mean?
Like, when you break it down, at the end of the day, we're all human. You know, before sexuality, before gender, before ethnicity, where you were raised, we're all human. We bleed the same, poo the same, pee the same,
No,
the same.
true.
So why the hell does my sexuality barrier? Like, is there a barrier? As to what I am actually about? You get it? You
And
know?
also, why does it bother other people? Like,
fam, that's the question we will always ask, fam. Because when I see a straight couple, I don't think that's another thing as well.
Them.
When I came out, it was a thing where like, so you're having sexual intercourse with, and I was just thinking, can you not ask like how I feel like when I first came about? If I was saying I have a boyfriend, you're not gonna be like, oh, so how's the sex life and all of this. It was kind of, I wouldn't say actually, yeah, it was off-putting, you know. I'm trying to come to you and say this and that, and you're flipping the whole thing. Like, it's weird.
I think there's a lot of that though. I think there's a lot of relating it to a sexualized
because
feeling.
people be like, oh, so how
about
does that
coke,
happen?
yeah.
Like, what do you do?
What do you do?
What do you
Or,
do?
Don't
or
worry.
can I? What I get a lot of is, can I join you?
Whoa.
Like, you walk with your missus, and there's a lot of men that think it's appropriate.
Whoa.
I don't know how a man and a woman that's together walking down the road would feel if I turned around and said,
Can I
have your woman?
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
That
have
would
you?
cause a whole problem.
You know, it's like
think that's
people,
normal.
yeah, and it's not, because the reality is there is this thing around, especially younger boys who are, you know, getting into watching certain content on the internet, and a lot of the times they always go to lesbian category, and then from a very young age it's made into something that's only almost a pleasure thing, rather than people can actually be together and be in a same-sex relationship and get married, have kids, do exactly the same things a straight couple can do. So it doesn't make us any different. You know what I mean? It's not really us and them, it's all of us as humans. You know what I mean? You don't look at someone and go, oh, you're black, you're lesbian, you're mixed race, you're whatever, I don't like you, or I'm going to feel a type of way about you. Because
It's true.
It's wrong.
Everyone has insecurities though. Like everybody has insecurities. No one's perfect here. But you know what? I never understand that. In school, if you see two girls holding hands, like, oh my days, yeah, they're just friends. See two boys now, oh, look at you, what you doing? Are you gay? But like, I just don't understand it, because there's a lot of boys that I know that would be like, oh, can't lie, gay people are just a bit. But it's alright for girls though. But so why is it not alright for boys to like embrace themselves?
Even now, I would, because of the way my mind's just set, how I was raised. When you're Jamaican, boom, bye bye, and up. You know the truth.
I already know where you're going with that.
Obviously, I hear to an extent, because obviously when you're gay, you can't then say, oh, it's all right for us to be gay, but then guys can't. That's not what I do. But at the same time, I wouldn't say I understand, but I get what they're saying just because it's been distilled into them
Upbringing,
that it's wrong. You know, me personally, I have gay boyfriends, you know, so it's like whatever you do, that's your choice. Same as how I would say it. So if you're a lesbian, I would say, out there, and you feel like being a gay boy or a gay man is wrong, then check yourself, bro. Even if you're straight, like, check yourself if you're fetishizing over lesbian porn and bashing gay guys. Like, it's weird. You know, it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I find interesting is, we all come from racially minoritized backgrounds, right? And I do think that culture has a big impact on our coming out journey or on our identity, you know, as people.
Facts.
But the thing that I find quite sad, and Konya was saying something earlier, was around, you don't just wake up and become homophobic. You don't just wake up and become racist. These things are taught into people from very, very young ages. And to an extent, that creates adversity in people when they're growing up. I guess what I'm always quite big on is educating and informing. And that's why we're doing this. Do you know what I mean? It's not about being angry at people because they are homophobic. It's about, I am angry at you, but how can I change that? How can I teach you? Because me just being angry at you because you're homophobic, because that's all you've ever known, is not really me being any better in any way, because I'm not teaching you about the community and why it's important to accept people. You go out and you get a job. It is actually illegal to be homophobic. It is a hate crime. So certain people are bringing up their kids at home, teaching them to hate, not realizing that they're coming out into a community full of different people.
Yeah.
It's full of diversity.
And like what you said about the educational side of things, I've often wondered how, like, in school, like, maybe, like, year 6 sometimes, more so secondary school, they teach everyone about sex education and all that. But there's never any talk about the fact that if it's not man on woman, it's all right. There's never...
You know what? There is
there's
now.
never...
There's changing it.
But back in the
Back
day,
in the
even
days
when
we
I
was
was
in
at school,
school,
and I'm not old, it never was.
It's true.
Yeah.
So that's why people that are of our generation are more so not likely to understand it, because from young, they was never taught that, so it's not seen as right. You know?
Like, even when that first came about, like, family members would be like, why are they doing this? It's an abomination. But you're deep in, like, these are the same people that believe a Bible that was written how many years back. That Bible would have been altered in many ways to fit the generation that you're in. That's why I can't even read that and say, preach words, bars. Because you don't know how many times that's been changed. You don't even know if the man Jesus or Moses wrote that. It could have been a James or a Billy. You know?
Billy.
You know? Billy. Let me just write this down for these folks. Like, you get it. But putting the religion to the side. Like, I was going to say something on the topic of us being human and forgetting sexuality and etc. Animals are gay, bro. As in, when you can... Okay, cool. You got humans, they're gay. But when I can search up and see, like, it's been proven that animals can be gay as well as... It's like, okay, this is facts now. We're preaching, we're spitting. You know, so what can we actually do if not only us, but other mammals in the world can like their own bloody gender?
Yeah. But I think there's something interesting that would be nice to explore is when you said about religion. Like, I don't know if you lot grew up religious or anything.
Yeah, I did, but I
How
don't
do you think that impacted you?
It's impacted me so much because I was just listening to whatever I was told in church. But when I actually started reading the Bible for myself and I found out how many times it has been rewritten over and over again, it just made me think, how can I believe that in the Bible it says this, but then in the Old Testament it says something completely different? So how am I supposed to know which one I'm supposed to be following and which one I'm not? Which is why I don't really... I could say I'm a Christian, but you're not going to see me go to church and preach the word.
Yeah.
You're not practicing.
Like, I'm not religious,
I'm
but
not.
I have faith. I believe that someone took time to create us, kind of thing. Whether it was the universe or whatever, someone did. Like, we didn't have 10 fingers out of nowhere, 10 toes out of nowhere. You get it? But yeah, faith and religion, two different things. You know,
Yeah.
you can believe in something, but you don't need to believe. Like, I will die for my religion kind of thing. You know, but
I mean, I grew up Muslim, so I grew up in a household that was Muslim. It wasn't like really practicing, but it was quite obvious that being gay was just not okay. Being anything LGBTQ plus was not okay. And it was only when, a bit like you, Konya, like I sat down and one day I thought, let me read the Quran. You know, let me really actually read this thing that I'm meant to, you know, spend my life believing in. And there was a lot of questions that I had, you know, and, you know, when you try to question certain things in the holy book, a lot of the times you'll be told, don't question it. But how can I believe something that I'm not able to question and have answers for? You know what I mean? How can I believe something that, you know, almost me as a woman makes me feel like I'm less as a being, you know? So religion's a whole nother thing, but I definitely think that religious views have an impact on people and coming out and stuff. Because there's a lot of, I was watching a documentary a couple of years ago, and it was saying that in places like in mainly predominantly Muslim countries, there's a lot of people that actually watch same-sex porn. And there's a lot of people that actually, you know, cheat on their relationships or end up in marriages for a long time, and then they're actually undercover
going out and doing things.
You know, so it's just like, I think, don't judge a book by its cover. You never know what someone's going through.
it's true.
You know what I mean? And just because you have a view on something doesn't mean others need to have that view. Like, we're the younger batch of the society. There's gonna be even younger batches of us. You know what I mean? And if we can't create spaces for those people, then, you know, I think there's an issue.
Bit of a change of subject, but what's you guys' views on, like, obviously you're talking about like family occasions and stuff, and obviously you're not feeling comfortable to go, but like the bigger picture, you got like weddings, funerals, and all those sorts of things. The stereotypical wedding, for example, man, woman in a white dress, man has.
I'm wearing
stag,
a suit on my wedding.
woman
Trust
has.
me.
But I do think that that's also something, because obviously at the end of the day, like, weddings, you ideally want to like, it's about the bride and groom, or the bride and bride, groom and groom. So you'll do everything that you want to please, necessarily not to feel comfortable in yourself.
Yeah. I get where you're going with it.
What I mean?
So I'll give you an example, yeah. I went to a family wedding. It was more like a type of wedding. It wasn't a wedding. It was a circumcision party, which a lot of Turkish people do, yeah. And we went there, and they basically said that I need to wear a dress. So for the first time in my life, I got dragged to a hairdresser's. I got my hair done. I had to wear this dress, this boob tube, white tight dress. And, you know, I was like, this is so uncomfortable. And from that day, I promised myself that if I ever go to anyone's wedding or a special occasion, I'm wearing a shirt. And you know what? I actually don't care. I'm gonna wear a shirt. So I think the uncomfortable part is around, what do you wear? And what are people gonna say? Do you know what I mean?
Because you know how I look at it both ways. If I wear a dress, I look like a boy, so you're gonna look at me and think, oh, she don't look like she should be wearing a dress. But if I wear a suit, you're gonna look at me and think, oh, why is she wearing a suit? So it's like a lose-lose situation.
But I think it's more common now for girls to just go into like a shop and just go straight to the men's section, get some clothes for the men's section, and not feel a way about it. I feel like when it comes to males on the other side, they can't easily go into the girls section and buy
people are gonna watch them.
But then again, when I'm standing in the boxer aisle and you've got all the mans looking at you, sometimes it makes me feel like, bro, why are you looking at me, bro?
But like, going back to like wearing whatever you want to wear now, I feel like definitely dresses and stuff were made just so you can show shape, you get it? But females are now deep in like, or women are now deep in like, why do I need to show my body? Who am I trying to impress? I should be impressing myself. That's why I started wearing these clothes. Like, people don't even believe I have shape. If I told you I have shape, you won't know, because why? This is my comfort zone. So for someone to say, no, get out your comfort zone just to please other people, that's dead. That's actually dead. But where were you went to the wedding?
How do you feel about, because you mentioned about family occasions, how do you feel about
Speaking of funerals, I went to my dad's funeral because he passed away last year, and he never told his like family about me. So when I turned up in a suit and everyone was like, "Who are you?" I was like, "That's my dad." They were like, "I thought you only had 4 kids," but like literally, he didn't tell no one about me. He didn't really want anything to do with me. Because he obviously he knew, because I wasn't about to wear a skirt just to go and visit him at his garage. He's doing that. I knew nothing about him. That's what upset me the most. And it was the way that I found out that probably hit the hardest. Like, he was sick. He didn't want to call me. He told my mum that he was sick, but he told my mum not to tell me. So my mum, out of the respect for him, she didn't tell me. She knew that he passed away before I found out.
So which is a common occurrence.
Yeah. Which I understand. But it was just the fact that when I turned up, everybody was looking at me thinking, who's this girl that's not wearing a dress? And people were coming up to me like, who are you? I was like, yeah, that's my dad. And then they were like, oh, so, you know, who's the mum? But I'm thinking, why is that necessary? Can I not just come and grieve for the loss? Ask me the question.
What I wear? Why does it bother you?
Like, what's that gonna do? Like, I don't get it. But yeah, it's been hard because I never had a proper father figure. Now I do, and he's very supportive.
That's nice. Sometimes it's not always the people that birth you that
You would
end up,
expect.
you know, that end up kind
Literally.
of being that parent figure. Or that
When I
older
got
figure.
baptized, my dad didn't even come. It was my younger sister's dad, whose name is on the
It's on the certification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not even my own dad. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, sometimes, you know, family is family, but like, I think that's also a very common occurrence in the LGBTQ plus community, is that there is some sort of breakdown in relationship with family, you know, and it becomes quite hard and hostile because you do feel a bit isolated. I guess that takes me on to my next thing that I was gonna say, right, which was around, how do you feel about support and accessibility for people who are from racially minoritized LGBTQ plus communities? Because there's a lot of stuff out there that's very whitewashed. I'm gonna say it as it is. You know,
There's not enough.
Don't even let me get started on that topic.
Do you feel like you're accepted in that community, like, or do you feel like you have to almost create your own community?
Yeah, I feel like we've created our own. We don't need to. As you said, the whitewash now. They're more understanding. When it comes to white people, they're more understanding. If you're gay, you're gay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whereas us now, it's like we've got to build together and not, because we've got our own people, own friends, family members that are putting us down anyways to this day. Whereas, as I said, white people, they're all one kind of thing. The unity is stronger than us. So I feel like we've created our own. Like, us being in here alone is a way of us being unified. You get? So I don't even think we need to be a part of that. Make our own clubs, make our own pride festivals, etc., etc. Let's do our own thing. Not to like create diversity. What's the word? Segregation. Not to create segregation, but at the same time, just show like, look, it's all right. You know, forget what your parents have taught you. Forget what maybe old folks have taught you. Like, this is a new gen. You know.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, not just with the sexuality thing and then having like the white people and then I think being mixed race in some ways has a positive and negative effect because some people could say, oh, like, you know, she can fit into this category and it's more accepted, but then actually she does have black in her, so then it's like, hold on, she needs to be in this one. So I think growing up there was always some confusion as to like, not sides as such, but it's like in the middle, like, where do I go? Because these people are saying they're going to accept me more. And it's like, I do definitely think that, like you said, it shouldn't be as separated. I think there should be more around, like, everyone is everyone, like, include everyone. There shouldn't be no, well, there's a black pride and then a normal pride.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I definitely think that, like, within the next few years, it should just be we're all gay. Why can't
Just-
we just
yeah,
come
just
together?
a
Why
pride.
can't we
But
just
as of
all,
now,
you know,
as I said,
all support each other? But at the moment, it's not like that. There still is a bit of a separation, like, and it's the truth.
I think there'll always be separation. Like, I think places for black pride to exist need to be there separate from pride itself. But I think there's a way. So, for example, Pride get a lot of money, and it's very like corporate now, you know. So, I guess there's enough money there to be also given to places like Black Pride and people that are racially minoritized that might not have the same funds as them or access to the same advertisement as them or marketing or whatever it is, you know what I mean? I think certain people in certain spaces could use their white privilege to bring other people in. That's what I think. But I don't look at it as them and us, or do you know what I mean? I just look at it more like the LGBTQ plus community. You know, if I've been to Pride and I've been to Black Pride, when I go to Pride, you see way more people who might not look like you, you know, and it's a lot more, you know. Whereas you go to Black Pride, it's like, man. I feel like I relate to that more because that's my upbringing. So vibe-wise and the people-wise, I relate more with that. You know what I mean? But there's something nice about just being able to be a part of a space. You know, rather than feeling like, oh, maybe I can't go there onto that stage because actually I'm not the same colour as them. Like, colour's got nothing to do with where you want to go and what you want to do. You know what I mean? How do you feel about it, Konya?
Me?
Like, having different spaces for different types of LGBT
I think it's hard, you know. Because, like you said before, you have to... It's like, people put you into a certain category. They're like, oh, what? So you have black in you, but you have white in you too. So, like, what is it? Like, which side do you want to be on? But I don't think that there should be sides. Like, just be where you want to be how you want to be, and be who you want to be. Like, that's how I live my life. Like, just be... Like, if you wanna wake up one day and think, I want to be a drag queen, go learn. Literally, like,
Go learn.
whatever makes you feel happy within yourself and makes you feel comfortable, do that. Because my mum was telling me, you should stay in acting. I was like, I don't want to do that. If I continue, I will be making money, but that's not happy. Like, that's not making me happy.
What makes you happy?
Cooking, that makes me smile. Music, rapping, singing, all of that makes me happy.
Yeah,
you gotta exercise, that also makes me happy.
You gotta do what you love. Man.
Yeah.
So if you was to like look back at your younger self,
I am my younger self.
Well, younger than what you are now.
At 6.
What would you kind of turn around and say to her?
Damn, that's a hard one.
You're gonna be a Gyalis. That's what I'm gonna. No, I'm joking. Keep your head up, bro. I know right now you're thinking, you know, a lot of things, but trust me, you're gonna grow up and your mind will be clearer because you would have said things that you never thought you would say at that given moment in life right now. And you'll be more free, more outspoken, more comfortable around people, whether they're like you or not. And, yeah, as I said, just keep your head up and just keep going forward. Don't stop, bro. Don't stop.
Yeah, I think before I touch on my younger self, I got a question for you lot. Seriously, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Do you lot think that lesbian relationships move faster than straight relationships?
Of course.
Move faster in what way?
Like 2 weeks and you're married.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't even know how my girl moved in. Like, it's happened, bro.
Seriously.
I definitely think it does.
Yeah,
Because you relate more, bro. And other things happen faster too. Because
No, but you
they
know
the
what's peak?
spots.
Periods.
When you're both in
you're
sync.
both
See me,
in
I don't get period
After a
pains
while,
though.
you
In
do
your house.
end up in sync, yeah. And then what ends up happening is the 3-4 days prior to it, it's
The
quite
little
a
arguments,
hell
the
show
this,
in that
yeah.
in there. You know what
Has
I mean?
anybody said you look like your girl?
I'm not gonna lie, they have to me with my partner because we're from the same country as well. I don't see it.
No, I never
I don't
see it.
see it.
I never see it.
But I get it. Like recently, I've been getting. I'm like, no, that's weird. Fam.
Yeah, to
Do you
hear
get
that,
it?
like,
Yeah, it's like when we wear our bonnets and stuff, and then we might have to. I'll be like, okay, I might see it a couple times, but like my auntie recently was like, wait, who's that? She had to do a double take, and I was like, that's not me. Yeah. She's like, yeah, she's like the prettier version, are you? Okay.
Thanks for that one.
But yeah, man, they say when you're with your soulmate, you end up looking at each other with some stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
but
like
to
that.
hear
Yeah,
somebody
I mean, you
say
definitely
you
ain't got blonde hair with blue eyes, bro.
But yeah, man, that's
Definitely
cute. That's cute.
But yeah, like definitely, I think for myself, younger when I first, came out, I was a bit like, ooh, girl there, jumped, and it was all fast. 1 minute I'm telling the girl I love you, the next one I'm saying get away from me, and it's like, so fast. So the one thing I would definitely tell my younger self is slow down.
Yeah.
Just because you've come out doesn't mean that you then have to like move quickly and tell someone like more how you feel than you would if it was a straight relationship. Like just settle. And definitely I would tell myself to talk more, communicate, because
communication
keeping it
is
all
key.
in and bottling it up was one of the worst things I could have ever done, because I could have saved so much time for myself feeling like absolute rubbish and just feeling so down. If I spoke to someone and I realised I actually do, because like I'm honest, like, I did have support, I just didn't know it was there. So if I'd have opened up and spoken a lot sooner, my younger self wouldn't have like been as down and been as like depressed as I was about like accepting who I was. So that's definitely what I would say, and just cool off, slow down, telling everyone you love them, and
That's true.
but yeah, definitely.
I want to shout outs to mines though, because we both turned each other, so it's been a good couple of years.
Hold on, wait, reel it back a couple of times.
Do you want to shout out your girl?
Yeah, I'm shouting mine out.
All made it clear to everyone watching this that we all have taken.
Literally.
So no one in the comments
We know
like,
she's got the good looks, but ladies, stay away.
yeah,
Stay
stay
clear.
away.
Chill.
Yeah, I want to shout out to mine. So been a good couple of years. A lot of ups and downs, can't lie. But yeah, I'm a type of person that I've got my head screwed on. I know what I want. I wasn't like Savs jumping from 1 to 1. It's been a good couple of years, so it's lit that we got to hide it as long as we could.
No, I know
man.
what you mean.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
yeah. That's mad.
What about you, Konya? Like,
Well,
what would you kind of? I know you said you're still young, but like, what would you say? Or if you can, let's switch it. What advice would you give to younger people out there?
I mean, I had advice for myself.
Oh
still
yeah,
do that.
one as well, girl. I don't mind.
I mean, for myself, because obviously when I was younger, I did go through a lot of like trauma. So I'll probably say to myself that I should have spoke up before, like sooner. Like, I should have waited and let it get as bad as it got. Because I think that's what probably the biggest push for me was to actually come out. Is just the fact that I went through something and it just messed me up so bad to the point where I can never see myself with a boy because of it. I just couldn't. But to my oldest, I mean, to other younger people, I'll probably say, like, there's always that one person in your family.
Yeah.
Like, it may take time to find them, but there's always that one person that once you have them and you found them and you have confided in them, they will always be there for you. It may not be your mum, it may be a family friend, but there's always one person who is willing to like go to hell and back for you, just to see you smile one time.
What would you say, Pembe, to like the younger generation, and any advice you could give them?
What I would say is around. All right, so I'm a stud. I'd classify myself as a stud, yeah.
So would I.
But I still wouldn't also put myself into boxes, and I'm a bit like not really into that, in the sense of there's always a lot of pressure in society about looking a type of way. So if you're a stud, you need to look a type of way.
Yeah.
If you're a femme, you need to look
But also
a type
on
of way.
categories, there are a lot of people, older generation, that wouldn't know. So we're talking about studs, femmes, and stems.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Like,
don't know
alright,
what that
so
is.
for anyone out there who doesn't know, then stud is someone who's a lesbian that's considered more butchy, someone who dresses more like a boy.
But
who doesn't
still
do much
identifies
feminine
as a
things,
female.
but still identifies as a female and as a
Yeah.
lesbian.
Yeah.
STEM is someone who's kind of in the middle. Might wear a dress one day, might see them in tracksuits the next day, might see them in with their hair extensions, might see them, you know, with no hair extensions, with their hair plait back. That's a STEM, you know. And a femme is someone who's just feminine, just classified as feminine. That's that thing again around boxing.
Can't forget about
You
the
know.
Dax though.
And there's dykes, you know. So I think what I guess what I would say to the younger generation out there is be who you want to be. Don't try and be someone you're not. Just because someone's shaved their hair off, everybody used to say to me, "Oh my God, shave the front of your hair and get a shape up because it looks sick and have cane rows."
No,
I don't want
that's
cane
so
rows
dead.
because I get into conflict when I've got cane rows in with everybody, and I like my front and I got a good hairline. Don't mess up
Got
my
the curly
hairline.
locks as well. Show it off, girl.
So that's what I would say. I think my advice would be, don't feel like you need to be someone you're not.
Yeah.
Just be who you want to be.
Stop trying
Wear
to
what
fit
you
in.
want to be. Yeah. Stop trying to fit in. We will all, as humans, always do things to try and fit in. But at the end of the day, always be true to yourself. Because if you're being true to yourself, then that's the real version of you that people are getting.
100.
That's what I think I would kind of put out there. Is there anything that you lot would like to cover that we haven't covered? It can be anything.
The only other thing I don't think we talked of, like, it was all, like, at the start, more people, like, in public and families and all this, that. There's also the other side of it, and I think in our school we had it a lot. People not pretending, but if they saw, like, a group of girls or something, like, or people that was gay, they would, like, force it just to look cool.
Yeah, she's so
like,
yeah, I'll kiss her.
Do you know what I mean? And I think
Yeah, those girls.
especially in
Don't like
school,
those girls.
I'm not gonna say any names, but there was girls who would like, if when like our generation and olders would come out and be gay, like they would try and like either like flirt with us or like, do you know what I mean? Move to girls in your year and sis, we know that you like man, like don't do it to try and fit in. Again, be yourself. Like you don't just because there are people and like. It's not a trend. Being gay ain't a trend. You don't have to do it to fit in. Like you can be straight and I will still want to chat to you. What? Just because I'm gay, you think because you're straight, I'm not gonna chat to you. Like, and they would do it just to like, yeah, like I said, look good and try to fit in. When in reality,
No, you know what pisses me off?
yourself.
Like really irritates me. I can never have have a straight friend because they always think I'm trying to move to them.
Yeah, I mean, I get the thing of I've got a lot of straight and LGBTQ plus friends. I think the one for me is like bopping down the road with my friend, genuinely with my friend, and people just think that that's my girl.
Be like, oh, what? You two are a cute couple, aren't you?
Yeah, like it's just
walking
like,
past
just because
casually.
you're walking with someone and you're a bit more masculine and they're a bit more feminine.
Mad and it's all,
Yeah, you know, and there's all that palaver.
Someone's
that
gonna
comes
see
with
them
it.
like, oh, I saw it, and they're just like, who you talking about? My best friend, bro. I'm like, oh, it's alright.
I think the one thing that I would say is around just. It completely left my mind. It just came and then it just.
No, it's true. Some girls be out here like, I'm not gay, but I wouldn't mind kissing a girl and this and that. Like, please.
I think as you're getting older, when you're young, you want to explore. You know,
That's
so
true,
you
but
will kind of talk to this person and that person until you try something. You might not know.
Yeah, but
I
some
feel like
people
there's
try
a-
to string along.
yeah,
Like they'll start talking to a girl, and then when things get too intense, they'll be like, "But I'm not really feeling the relationship."
Yeah,
type
People
of
forget
thing.
that just because we're gay, we have feelings the same as straight people do. Like, just like you said, string someone along, it's still gonna hurt.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah, because some people out here falling in love with straight people, and then one day you just get up and say, well, not in my case, but one day they'll just get up and say, just gonna disclaim that. Yeah, oh yeah, I like guys now. It's like, damn, but you had feelings for this person. Like, some people need to realize there's a thin line before exploring or experimenting and then just downright
Overdoing
just-
it.
You get it.
Yeah.
I think if someone knows who they are, it's a bit difficult. I think being upfront and being honest is the most important thing. You know, I've been around women that have genuinely said, I don't like women in that way. I haven't been with women in that way, but I wouldn't mind trying it.
Yeah.
You know, and you, like I said, you can't rule out what you ain't tried. So if you're someone, and as you get older, your perspectives change on stuff. You know, you're a lot more like, comfortable with having certain conversations with people. I have a lot of these conversations with my straight friends, you know what I mean? And a lot of the times they say, you know, it might be nice to be with a woman. I don't know if I'm into it, but actually if I don't try it, how am I going to know that? But then I'm also not someone's guinea pig. I know what I want, and I want a woman who wants to be with a woman. So maybe there's another woman out there that would want to be with that woman.
I think
Do you know
like
what I
the
mean?
number one pro of being with the same sex. I'm not saying like this is me promoting why you should
No,
be
promote
like,
it, promote it.
Everyone okay. I was just everyone be gay right now. No, but seriously, the one pro about the major pro I feel like is the fact that they get you, they understand you.
Emotional
Again,
connection.
you get it. They have a period. They have mad emotions, and then you're just like, okay, sometimes you might clash because it's like rare.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like it's good to know someone understands you on a level that you want to be understood. You know. And I made up this analogy of where you know how you've got magnets, you've got the north and the south poles. So when you get the south and the north, the opposites, they connect, right? Whereas when you get the same ones, they kind of
split.
you get it. So I see that as like, because we're both the same, even though like there's so much tension, it's almost like, damn, I like this tension kind of thing. Yeah, like the magnets just be like trying to get to each other kind of thing. Like, damn.
Yeah.
So when I see like two girls and then two guys, it's like, even though society says they're not to be honest, they kind of are. Like the connection is more powerful. You can see like the force is there, you know. Whereas it's easier for a straight couple to just
do this and then drift apart.
you get it. You get it. So, damn, I love being gay. I love it. It's so beautiful. Mwah. Rate it 5 stars.
Yeah, girls are just beautiful as well, don't you think?
Facts.
Of course, look at this.
6 pack soon, there.
You know what? Yeah, somebody said to me, "How do you know you're gay?" So I just said, "How do you know you're straight?" Like, how do you know?
No, it's
Facts.
true. It's true.
How do you know?
Well,
Facts.
I hear you, yeah.
Simple.
Cool. All right. I think that's probably enough content. Yeah. So what we should do is we should just go around and just say, fuck, I'll call it back. We'll go around and just
Not say
say,
that.
Yeah, don't
Sorry.
say that one.
I'm so sorry.
Not that
Sorry
one.
for me as well. Just say who you are.
I have to say my age.
And where to find you. No, you don't have to say.
It's a bit of a can't lie.
What do you mean? That's what we're trying to do. They ain't been. I hope
Exactly.
no over 18s get in contact with you after this video.
I have a girlfriend.
Suited and booted.
Do you know?
On my phone, you saw
Oh yeah, the girlfriend that you said.
1
you don't
year
mind.
in a couple of days.
Wow, big up you there. The young one's
19th.
doing a year and thing, bro.
Shut up.
All right, cool. So let's just we'll go round, and we'll just say who we are and just say where you can find us. So if you want to promote your own stuff,
Where can you find me?
what is your socials?
Like my snap and that.
More like probably your Insta. Or maybe you just don't put where they can find you. You could just say I've been Konya.
Yeah, come my Instagram got hacked. I had to make a new one.
Just
so
say
it's
I've
just
been
long.
Konya, and it's been lovely to be here.
Alright.
So now you say wrap it up, yeah.
Cool. I've been Savannah. You can find me on Instagram, savs.aj. Also got a clothing line there called Pastor Orcs. New up and coming. But yeah, been a pleasure.
My name's DK. You can catch me on Insta's Queen DK, that's with a K. And the DK is DEEKAYY. Musician and that. Aspiring actress. Yeah. Do my thing.
Oh my bad. You know, I'm Konya. Find me on Ingramgram at __TOCCARA. It's been a pleasure.
Lovely.
Yeah, and thank you all of you for joining us at Kiki and Chill. Pembe, and you can find me at PTOK, PETOK _Pem, and you can check out my production company, PTOK Productions, which is for women, trans and non-binary people working behind the scenes, screens and lens. So if that's you, come and join the team.